If every employer understood that, simply put, supporting employees who are at risk of domestic abuse is the right thing to do, this video would end right here and there would be nothing more to say. Many more than 5% of employers would already have a workplace policy in place. Their employees would know who their workplace champions are. Morale will be at an all-time high, with improved mental well-being, as staff will know that their workplace is a zero-tolerance safe haven, and any perpetrators on the workforce will know that there will be repercussions for their actions. Sadly, the reality is different. So here we are, making a business case for why domestic abuse is an employer's business too. Let us talk facts and figures. According to the Office for National Statistics, in the year ending March 2019, an estimated 2.4 million adults, aged 16 to 74, experienced domestic abuse that year. These statistics roughly translate to 1 in 4 women, and 1 in 6 men, which means that every employer is more than likely to have members of staff who are at risk. We also know that about 75% of those at risk are targeted at their place of work, because their abusers know exactly where they are and what time they are there. Let us not forget that 50% of stalking victims end up quitting work. Did you know that 1 in 5 women, and 1 in 10 men are stalked at some point in their lives? The Corporate Alliance estimates that the cost of domestic abuse to businesses is £1.9 billion a year. This is based on the amount of time employees take off work due to injuries. However, the overall cost to the economy is estimated at £14 billion a year, according to the Home Office's report on the economic and social costs of domestic abuse. Think about it. What percentage of that cost is yours? While statistics are important to make business sense, we must not ignore the fact that behind all of these numbers, there are real people, with real stories. Judith Nibbs predicted her own murder as she left work with the words, "If I'm not in on Friday, I might be dead." If an employee or colleague said these words to you, what would you do? What would you tell them? Would you laugh it off and think they were being hysterical? Or would you believe them and offer support? At this point, if you are still wondering why domestic abuse is an employer's business too, meet Harriet. Harriet was in a relationship with Josh for 5 years, before he started abusing her physically and emotionally. It all began when Harriet decided to go back to work, after having their second child. As the abuse continued, work quickly became her safe haven. When Harriet was offered a promotion, her working hours changed. Josh accused her of having an affair with her boss, and began stalking her at work. When she arrived to work one day, bruised and upset, a colleague saw through the dark glasses she was wearing on a cold winter day, and knew exactly what to do. He pulled her aside to remind her that support was available. Thankfully, for a little over £700, the company had already consulted with the Haven, and they had a workplace policy and support mechanisms in place. A risk assessment was conducted, and Harriet was able to get the help and support that she needed. For employers who refuse to address domestic abuse, the price to pay is a lot heavier than £700. If Harriet was in the 50% of stalking victims who quit work, her employer would have spent about £3,000, and used 27 days to hire her replacement. That is almost 1 month of no one effectively covering her position. Other related costs can include lateness and persistent distraction from work. Like when Harriet had to answer the phone several times a day, or faced the consequences when she got home. Businesses are also commonly impacted by absenteeism. Many employees will take time off if they do not feel supported at work, and are reluctant to disclose. 21% of women take time off work as a direct result of domestic abuse, according to a UK Home Office study. For nearly a quarter of those, the longest absence was more than a week. Then there is presenteeism, where the employee is present, but not productive, and that too has its own financial impact. Research has indicated that 87% of employers want to address domestic abuse and its impact on business, but have no idea how to do this. If you are in that 87%, we are here to help. At the Haven Wolverhampton, we are encouraging employers to take action so that skilled and experienced employees are able to retain their jobs and feel safe and supported at work. We believe we all have a collective responsibility to prevent and eliminate domestic abuse. We are committed to raising awareness about the role workplaces can play, and how employers can prepare themselves to manage risks and safeguard their employees. Through our advisory and training services, we can help you write your workplace policies and train your staff. We do not believe that businesses on their own can solve this complex problem of domestic abuse. But we know without a doubt that in addition to creating safer workplaces, as required by health and safety regulations, employers can create more awareness, and in so doing, they can help remove the stigma that keeps domestic abuse in the shadows and underreported. Contact us today to find out how we can help. Thank you for watching.